my darlings. Hello. Welcome to Ink Medicine. This is another solo ramble. It's a Wednesday evening, January 25th. I am just home from a busy day at work. I had 2 clients. I did not want to record this week. I wanted to record because this is really fun, but I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to talk about. And I was thinking that perhaps it would be really fun to do a series on tattoo history. Tattoo women in history of tattooing in the States, in other parts of the world. Perhaps I will do that. I'm sure that many people would be interested in hearing about that. I sure am. I would absolutely listen to a podcast episode on that. There was one specific woman, Maud Wagner, that was the first known female tattoo artist in the States. It would be really fun to do some research and then educate myself and you on her life. So perhaps that's coming. But today I did, I thought about a few things. I don't know if you go through this. I think it's part of the imposter syndrome that so many people go through. So many of us who do more technical work or who are artists in any shape or form. I go through these periods in my career where I basically just feel like everything I'm doing is complete shit. And, excuse me, recent clients, I don't mean to say that what I'm doing on you is shit, right? It's just a feeling. It's more of a psychological thing. And it feels more or less like growing pains, where I go through a period when I feel like that, and it kind of pushes me to challenge myself in new ways, to look at my work in new ways. And then there's a little bit of a jump that happens, and I feel like I jump forward, and then my work is that much better. Because of course, hopefully, it feels true for me, but hopefully as you work and practice a craft over the course of many years, you get better. So you feel like the things you can do and become proficient at now are better than what you were doing a year ago, 2 years ago, or even a few months ago. But it is a really frustrating and unpleasant period while you're going through those growing pains. And I'm in that space right now. I've been in that space for a few weeks. I know it's going to be done. It's going to be over. And there will be relief, and also as I do work now, it's, I'm also like, there's many parts of it that I'm really happy with and I enjoy. But it's just kind of the overall sense. I know it will be over, and so I look forward to that time. But that is what's happening in this moment. The other thing that's happening is that I just bought myself a fancy-ish digital camera. Those of you who are photographers, I don't know if this will be interesting to you, but I thought I would tell you guys because I'm really excited about this. This idea came about a few months ago when I decided that I needed a digital camera to photograph my tattoos. The competition out there on the Instagrams and the Reddits, it's stiff. Nice pictures, get more views, get more likes, more likes, more views, more followers, more options. You get that. So, my iPhone it's a couple years old. When I first got it, it took amazing pictures, and now I don't know what happens, but it's less amazing. It still takes pretty good pictures, great pictures of Lulu and things I'm doing out in the world, but my pictures of the tattoos aren't always up to par. They don't always translate the color or the detail that the tattoos have. So I decided I wanted to get a digital camera. And so I started looking around, and I looked for a while, and I asked some friends for recommendations, and I got some recommendations. And I would go into these rabbit holes on the internet, just looking at reviews and looking at examples of photographs. And for the most part, what I was looking at, the range of $300 to $500, it all looked kind of the same. Really wasn't really that impressed. Didn't really fall in love with any of those cameras. Started looking at more specifically like digital point and shoots in sort of the best quality of photo. Looking at like product photography cameras, which require a macro lens, which I'm not about to get. a body and a lens and this lens and that lens and taking up space and all this. So I was looking at just like a point and shoot that could photograph detail up close pretty well. I ended up finding this little camera from Ryko. It's a Ryko GR 3X is the one I am with, the one I ended up with. I looked and I found this camera and I read the reviews, and people were just in love with it. The people who were into it were so into it. It sort of had this air of being a cult classic camera. And I'm a sucker for that shit. So I looked at, but mainly, I looked at pictures that people posted that camera took, and they all have this quality that old film cameras used to have. It's kind of juicy and a little bit soft, but then sometimes sharp in certain parts. I can't really describe it. And then the color, there's a quality to the color that is different. It's different from the other cameras I was looking at. It's juicier, it's brighter, it's sunnier. And, well, it's a street photography camera. It doesn't have, I believe you actually can change the lens, but it's a 40 millimeter. It doesn't have zoom. It's basically meant for street photography, which I'm also into. So, I consulted with a friend, and she said it should do me fine for tattoo pictures as well. So I bought the camera. But, I spent months looking, reading and considering. And then once I picked the camera, I spent another month looking to see where it was sold and what kind of packages it came in, like what sort of batteries and memory cards and cases and screen protectors and all this stuff, what kind of packages it came in, how much it cost, if I could get it for cheaper. So I spent like a month, looking at options. Finally pulled the plug on Friday last week, and it's about to get here this week. So yay. Really excited. I bought it for myself as a birthday gift, which is in March, but I'm going on a trip next month with some friends. We're going to go to Ireland, and I really wanted to have this camera for my trip to Ireland because, of course, I want to take some pictures. You probably didn't know this, but I was a photography major in college. Almost 20 years ago now, I did film photography. I took mostly 35 millimeter photographs, sometimes different formats, and we developed them and we printed them, and they were amazing. And so when we are in Ireland, my friends and I, we're going to visit an old mentor of mine. So this was somebody I worked with at a homeless youth center in Portland. They were the person who organized and ran and managed the gender center there, Ewan. And I was completely crushed out on them. They were so gorgeous and so smart and so funny. And they had these sparkly eyes that they were absolutely gorgeous. I was like 19, they were in their 30s. I was full on crushed out. It's been that many years, 20 years since then. I haven't seen them since, but we're Facebook friends and we, touch base and chat once in a while. And so we're going to Ireland. I'm going to get to see them. It'll be really awesome. And recently this last weekend, I went through a bunch of my old prints from college and I picked out the ones because I had taken photos of them, some portraits of them when I was in Portland. And then I went back to school in Ohio and I printed them. So I had these beautiful portraits of them. I'm going to go, when we go to Ireland, I will bring them a couple of these prints and take some new ones, perhaps if they're cool. I'll be taking pictures all over the place, and I'd love to take some fresh pictures of them and their partner and their farm and etc. So I will have this lovely new camera. I'm really excited about it, as you can tell. I'm also going to hopefully record an episode of podcast with them and hopefully do some little tattooing. I'm hoping to bring a couple of needles, a little bottle of ink, and just do some stick and poke kind of style work on them. I will actually need to check in with them and see what they might like so I can be prepared. So yes, I'm taking this trip February, I believe 17th or 18th through the 26th. I'll be in Ireland. Really excited. Essentially every single person I've spoken to is like, it's an amazing place. People are amazing. Food is amazing. I mean, people say that about pretty much everywhere because travel feels really good for the most part. It's really exciting and life-giving. But there's a special way that people talk about Ireland. Yes, I'm stoked. The other travel plan I have, perhaps solidifying itself soon, is going to be Prague in April. And that is specifically because my partner is training there. She's an acrobat, and there's a acrobatics festival. And so she's going there to teach and train and be an acrobat. I am potentially tagging along over to Prague at the end of her trip, thinking about maybe tattooing in Prague. So if you know a shop in Prague that does guests, let me know. Or if you have connections in Prague, let me know. And, again, people love Prague. So I'm excited to go and check it out and take some pictures with my brand new camera that's about to arrive, hopefully tomorrow. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that I've been trying to find ways to get more ears onto this podcast. And it's not easy, honestly. I decided that I would join some Reddit podcasting and Reddit tattoo communities to get the word out about what I do. It's a process, let me tell you. So I spent the whole morning fighting with transphobic people on one of those Reddit communities that has nothing to do with gender. It was like, look at this, how interesting. And it was basically somebody, this beautiful trans woman who had facial augmentation surgery. And the pictures were kind of showing progress from before to now. And she was gorgeous in all the pictures. But you should have seen the comments. Okay, no, you shouldn't have. The comments were shitty. And I responded, and I shouldn't have. Like, I know better than talking to transphobes on the internet, but sometimes I can't help myself. And I've actually been in that cycle for the last couple weeks. I said something to some people about gender and some other people about bodies and body diversity, and then this morning that. So I've been fighting with internet trolls for like 2 weeks. So I should stop that. And now, even if I say something, I try not to read the responses, especially the ones who really come hard for me. So there's that. Reddit, very, very strange place on the internet. Very different from Instagram. Has its place. Hopefully will help me with some of the podcasting dilemmas I have. Perhaps we'll get some more eyes onto my Instagram account, get me a few more followers. It's proceed with caution. If you're on Reddit, you know what I mean. Fighting with trolls on the internet, it doesn't work. You can't change people's minds. There's no logic or whatever. There's no emotion. It's, people are for the most part, they're not that great. They're not that compassionate. They're not that kind, especially on the internet. Yeah, that continues to be true. Next week, I am going to have another interview. I'm hoping for a specific one. I don't know yet if it's going to happen, but I'm hoping to have a really good one for you next week. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I hope that you are enjoying listening to this podcast. I am really enjoying making it for you. I'm really enjoying recording and interviewing and running around town, to people's houses, interviewing them. And this week I recorded a really wonderful, informative, heartfelt one with my friend Wolf, who I've known for a long time, another tattoo artist who's been tattooing way longer than I have. Also queer, local, part owner of Diving Swallow Tattoo. And so I'm excited to edit that one and put it out for you guys probably in a few weeks. I want to spread out my tattoo artists. We did it over beautiful breakfast. I came over to their house and I brought some bagels, and they had a spread to put on the bagels, like tomatoes and capers and avocado, and they made beautiful coffee and cut up some fruit, and we had this beautiful food and talked. And then I got my equipment ready and started running the recording and, had a little interview. It was wonderful. Really wish I had started running the recording earlier because they dropped some gems that I did not catch. But you live and learn. That one's going to be coming your way in a few weeks. There'll be another one with somebody really wonderful, hopefully next week. And please, please, please rate and review. I'm going to do a giveaway soon. I'll put it out there, but I'll do a giveaway. Everybody who reviews the podcast, I will put all y'all's names in a hat, pull one out, give you an hour or something of free tattoo time. Thinking about an hour, maybe a couple hours. We'll see. It depends on how many people, how many names. Maybe I'll do 2. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. That's going to be coming up soon. I'll be announcing it, but you can start reviewing because everybody who's reviewing from the beginning until until the cutoff time will be part of the drawing. I would love it if you're an Apple user, do it on Apple Podcasts. And if not, I don't even know Spotify does reviews, but if they do, I'd love that. And Google Podcasts, I think, does reviews. So I would love that. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, for caring, for enjoying. Thank you for texting me and telling me how much you're enjoying the podcast, for messaging me and telling me how much you enjoy the podcast. I love it so much. It's really just makes my day when you do that. I so appreciate you. I'm out. Have a really lovely morning or day or night whenever you're listening to this. I hope that your dishes are clean if you're washing dishes and your laundry is folded if you're folding laundry, and that you go to bed with a smile on your face. I send you so much love. I'm out. This is Micah Riot.